Hey guys, and welcome. Today I'm going to try and help you. I'm going to help you as much as I can to try and get your gold guns a little bit quicker. Now, I've managed to just get the STG 44 gold today and complete all of the challenges for it. On screen right now, you'll see it in game and of course within the gunsmith. Yeah, let me know what you think down below. The gold camo, it's very similar to Modern Warfare's gold camo, obviously with its added extra bits. And the best thing about it as well is it covers the gun, covers the entire weapon, and that's great. And to be fair, so do all camos in this game, so you can't really complain about that. Cold Wars were just awful, so I'm glad they've addressed it and they've fixed it. But guys, anyway, getting into today's video, what I want to do is go over every single camo in the game and give you some tips on how to get it a lot easier. Now, this is from the perspective of the STG 44 and the assault rifles. The weapon categories may have different types of camo challenges, however, mostly they're all pretty much the exact same as this one from what I've heard. So if you guys found this video helpful and you want to see more, make sure you do drop a like on today's video and subscribe down below. It'd be much appreciated. And of course, if you want to stay up to date with everything that does get posted on the channel, and there will be a lot in the next couple of days and weeks, then be sure to ring that notification bell down below to be notified when a video does go live. But guys, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay, so going straight into the camos for multiplayer. Now, obviously, there are loads of different camos. Obviously, you can see on screen right now. And the way to unlock them is you have to rank the weapon up. So, obviously, the weapon starts as level 1. And you have to go all the way to max level 70 before you can unlock all of the camouflage challenges on there as well. Again, it works a bit differently this year, and I kind of like it. It's not as hardcore as Cold Wars. Cold Wars were just BS. They were absolutely awful. The words can't describe, else I'll probably get demonetized. But to put it politely, they weren't very good. So this year they have addressed it. They've took on the feedback, and they have actually implemented some pretty decent challenges that, yeah, they may take a little bit of time, but they're nowhere near as bad as Cold Wars. So starting off with the very first one, obviously just the normal eliminations, and we have to do 400 eliminations with the assault rifles or the weapons in general. Now, eliminations are just kills, so we just need to essentially get 400 kills with the STG 44. So again, you can basically get that whilst ranking up your weapon and getting the other challenges. So to be fair, I don't need to give any tips for this one because it is just ranking the gun up. So we are going to skip just over this one and go over to surgical. Surgical is headshots. Now, with the STG 44, we are blessed with this weapon having no recoil at all. I've done a best class setup for this video that if you guys want to go see a version of this gun with absolutely zero recoil, then go back and check out that class setup. I'll leave it in the link in the description down below. And I think it was the previous video we uploaded on the channel. That thing was crazy, and that was a beginner setup for this weapon as well. So I think that was between level 1 and level 15 or so. So yeah, I would go back and really check that out. This will help so much with headshots. Now, obviously, with headshots, the best thing to do is very self-explanatory. Aim higher. It's as simple as that. And I'm really bad for this. Whenever I go for kills, I aim for the body or below. I don't know why. I don't know why I've not got it in my muscle memory to aim higher. But it always seems that the only way I get headshots, really, if I'm not really thinking about it, is if I get flinch. And then my gun flinches up and gets the headshot. In this scenario, though, what you need to do with the STG 44 is because it has no recoil, you can afford to sit back slightly and not rush in and then get those headshots. There's been multiple scenarios where I've been playing the game, and I found that getting headshots has become so much easier without rushing in and just playing a little bit more passively. I mean, if you're on an objective, of course, then you can rush in and you can do things. Again, there'll be gameplay in the background which goes into detail and shows my point off, but when I found that I'm trying to hold down an area, watching them come out of the spawn, and they haven't really clocked where I am at that point, you've got a bit more time to kind of position your shot and then go for that headshot, rather than being in a gunfight and then trying to aim up and potentially missing bullets and losing that gunfight. So for me, it does work in that scenario, and that's the biggest tip I can give you. Try and position yourself on the map somewhere where you can see them rather coming out of spawn or coming off of an objective, and that way you can kind of pick your shots, if you will, without them knowing that you're there, which then will mean that you can get a better headshot accuracy as well. Again, look at the gameplay in the background, it sort of strengthens my point a little bit more and shows it off of what I'm trying to say. But if you have any other questions about that, let me know in the comments down below and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Again, with this, we just need 100 headshots to complete that challenge. Going on to Predatory Ambition. This one is 50 multi-kills. So a multi-kill can consist of 2 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills and above. Again, these are just like getting more than 1 kill at once, essentially. So essentially 50 double kills to make it as easy as possible. And this just comes completely natural, as well as the 400 eliminations. So you will get these really easily. You'll get these very, very fluently. And to be honest, there isn't really much advice I need to give you on how to go about getting these. Maybe if you are really struggling, you can, as I mentioned previously with the headshots, you can position yourself somewhere on the map where you see them rather running out of spawn, where you know the next hard point is going to be, for example. Or if you can flip them over to a different flag in domination, you can kind of see where they're going to come from, if they're all going to flood over to the home flag. Or if you flip them over to another side of domination and you rush to their flag, say for example the C flag, and they're all going to be jumping on there, you can get loads of kills on that flag at that given time. So again, there's loads of different ways that you can do this, but again, I wouldn't worry too much about multi-kills because they come very naturally. Again, the next one, which is the Reptilian, this one again is 5 kills without dying 30 times. So again, just get a 5 kill streak 30 times, and then this challenge will be complete. Again, it's only kill streaks. You don't need to do anything crazy with it. It's just get 5 kills with a weapon without dying, and then do that 30 times in a row. It can be in the same game, it can be in different games, it's entirely up to you. Trying to get this challenge done though, as I mentioned previously with the headshots and other ones, I would try and play a bit more passive if you are really struggling to do this. For me, this comes really naturally, and I could do this along with the eliminations, the multi-kills, and this, so I kind of get all 3 done at the same time. But if you are really struggling with it, again, try and be a bit more passive, position yourself somewhere on the map that you can see someone coming out of an area, or where an objective is going to be, or where you're overlooking a flag, and that way you can kind of get a kill, go back, regain your position, get another kill, and do that 5 times. Again, it's only a 5 kill streak, it's not nothing crazy, so everyone should be okay with this one really. But if you are struggling with it and you need some more tips, do let me know in the comments down below, and I'll do my best to help you out. The next camo is Deadeye. Now, Deadeye is long range kills, which is essentially long shots in previous games. Now, long shots in this game are a bit weird because they're not traditional long shots, they're a bit odd, whether that's because the maps aren't traditionally 3 lanes and they are a bit sort of all over the place, or there's a mix and match between the bunch. Again, I found that long shots were literally the last thing that I did, just because that I didn't find very many scenarios in which I could get a long shot. You have to really play to get long shots in this game. And in the background, I'm going to go into a private match, and I'm going to show you a couple of different positions on a few of the maps that I found that were really good. Again, long lines of sight, that's all you've got to try and find. There are loads of different areas and places on maps where you can go and do this. It's literally just about finding it and finding your niche and finding out what works best for you. Again, there are 16 maps in this game. There's a lot to choose from, and there's a lot to play. So there's a lot of different locations that you can potentially go to for these long shots. As I mentioned in the background, I'm going to show you visually some places that I've been to, and then from this visually looking at these places, I want you to also try and find similar places on other maps as well. I mean, if I was to show you all 16 maps, I'd probably be here all day. But in terms of places to be, again, places where you can get the high ground and look down at people that are running out of spawn or running onto an objective are really good places. Again, places where you're low down and looking up at a platform, which on the other side of the map where people usually jump over to look over to an objective. So that's also a really good scenario in that terms as well. And you also in some maps get like one line of sight which goes from one side of the map to the other. And if you can find a spot where you're not necessarily head glitching, but if you can get behind a piece of cover if you need to immediately, and then get straight back out and into the action and get that long shot, that works as well. There's a lot of different places on these maps to get long shots. You've just got to find the best ones. There's also a really good set of attachments that you can use for this as well, and this is what I always use for long shots, and I'll show you on screen right now. So for optics, again, this will depend if you have unlocked them or not, but these are fairly low attachments anyway. So the G16 2.5 times scope. So this is obviously a 2.5 times scope, and pair this as well with a suppressor, whether that's the Mercury silencer or the MX silencer. It doesn't really matter in all fairness. This actually reduces the range ever so slightly of a long shot, especially with these 2 optics on right here. So it really does help doing that as well, and maybe even decrease the barrel to have it on something that without a range, maybe even get rid of the barrel completely, and that will help a hell of a lot. Again, on previous games as well, this always works in the past and it works now as well. Have a 2 times optic on or something like that, or an ACOG scope along with a suppressor, and then don't have a barrel on it, just have it as like a standard barrel or the shortest barrel, which means then that the long shots will be at a shorter distance from you. So that will help a lot if you are struggling with this too. But again, for me, I would always find the high ground on a map and look down into a location where people are coming at me. The next challenge is the Berserker challenge. Now these are point blank challenges, point blanks for an assault rifle. I literally thought the exact same thing when I seen this as well. But again, they weren't actually too bad. Point blanks for the ARs were quite good, and to be honest, they were, I wouldn't say fun because they are a bit of a pain to get, but they're very, very easy to get if you know how to get them. So again, the way that you need to do this is looking for close range encounters. Obviously, you need to be up and against someone to get this kill. So a couple of scenarios: you can either be on a very small map, or you can be in a location on a big map which has always got a lot of traffic going through it. Now again, there'll be some examples in the background that you can see as well of me getting these point blanks. And again, what would also help if you had friends which potentially had a lower KD which you could join and get into an easier lobby, that would also be a good thing. Another thing as well, another good tip is using smoke grenades. If you're in these small locations or in these small maps, you throw these smoke grenades into high traffic areas or doorways, and then you can sit in the smoke without anyone knowing you're there, which means people are going to run through and you can get those point blanks. Very, very easy. I'll do a video more in detail on point blanks because they are a bit of a pain, but that is the tip I would give you for that part. Again, there are a lot of attachments on this game as well, which does help with hip fire kills as well. So I would go through the attachment list and try and find the different parts that will help with hip firing. The reason why I say that is you don't need to hip fire for a point blank kill. However, if you are aiming in at that close range, you are really going to struggle to get accuracy on that person 110%, whereas if you hip fire and the bullets are kind of going all over the place, and you will have more chance of killing that person. Therefore, most of the point blanks that I did for this weapon, the STG, were in fact hip fires. So again, it does work a bit better for me, but it doesn't, not mandatory to do that, but entirely up to you. But yeah, in summary, high traffic areas, small maps, or very high traffic locations on larger maps, use of smoke grenades as well really help. Again, keep you out of sight, and if people run through, you can get those kills as well. Yeah, really helpful. On to the next one, which is Wildcat. Now this one's very simple. This is just get 250 eliminations with 10 attachments equipped. Very simple. Again, unfortunately you can't do this one along with the pack tactics, which is the first one, at the same time, because again, you need to have this leveled up to be able to do that. If you did have them both leveled up, you could do that straight away. You could do both of those at the same time, as long as you had the 10 attachments on and you obviously ranked the weapon up, so that would have been fine. However, this one is just kills, so again, I will skip over this one. Okay, so when we reach level 70 with the weapon, then after that, this is where it gets a little bit different and a little bit interesting. I actually really like this part of the camo challenges. So there are 3 extra ones that we've got to do here, but these aren't traditional camo challenges. These are essentially telling you to use specific attachments and do different things with them. So for example, for Survivalist, 10 ADS kills with the Krausnik 220mm rapid-fire barrel, the 7.62 Gorenko 30 round mag, and the VDD 27 precision stock. So again, it's asking you to equip 3 attachments to do this, and to complete the challenge, you need to get 100 ADS kills with this. So essentially, you need to aim down sight and get 100 kills whilst aimed down sight whilst using these 3 attachments. Really simple, right? It was really fun. Again, it's just kills. Make sure you aim down sight whilst getting these kills, and that's it. But you've just got to have these attachments on. It's no problem with the STG though, because the STG has 0 recoil with any attachments on for it, pretty much. So it's a win-win scenario, really. So again, we'll skip over this one because it is just kills, but I wanted to cover it because it is quite interesting. The next one is Mind Games. Now again, very similar to this one. Get 10 headshots with the Krausnik 620mm precision barrel, the 30 Russian short 30 round mag, and the Vital perk equipped. So we did need to get 100 headshots again. So that's the second headshot challenge on this, which I don't really like. I think they could have maybe chose something a little bit different. After it being all headshotted out at the start, we've now got to do another 100 of them. But again, it is what it is, isn't it, at the end of the day? But again, basically the similar things what I told you earlier on today. This setup here that we're using to get these headshots is broken, by the way. It's ridiculous how good this thing is. And I got an insane gameplay with this, and the next one we're going to talk about as well. I got 2 insane gameplays with these setups, and this is such an easy setup to get headshots with. Again, you need to position yourself somewhere where you can overlook the map or overlook where the enemies are coming out of spawn or off an objective, and you can aim your shot with time. Take your time and aim in the shot, and make sure you are hitting those headshots as well. Again, you don't always have to do that. You can just get headshots normally and get them, be lucky with getting them, or in a gunfight and get flinch and then get the headshot. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be, you don't always have to mean to get a headshot in order to get one. You know what I mean? Sometimes if you are trying too hard to get one, it won't necessarily happen for you. So again, with this one, really good. This setup is actually really good. So go and try it out anyway. And the final one is Death Artist. Now this one is get 100 kills whilst moving with the .30 Russian short 20 round mag, the Konstanz tactical stock, and the pressure perk equipped. Now again, just kills. This is literally just kills whilst moving. So for me, whenever you're trying to get a kill, aim down sight and then move left and right. So strafe left and right. This was like natural to me anyway, because I do that anyway when I'm in a gunfight, just so that it's harder for the person to kill me. But that's the best advice I can give you. When you're aiming down sight into a gunfight, just make sure you're moving left and right when you are shooting them as well, and it does help a hell of a lot when doing that. And of course, also with this as well, if you are hip firing, just make sure that you are being a little bit more difficult to get. So again, if you're hip firing, move left and right, slide here and there, crouch stand, just do whatever you can to try and make it difficult for them to hit you. But again, you've got to be moving, getting these kills. You can't be standing still or in any way at all. You can't be lying down, nothing. You've got to be moving in some way or capacity. So again, that's the best tips I can give you for that. And of course, when all of that is done, you unlock the gold camo. Now, I'd love to know what you guys think of this gold camo. I think it does look quite cool. It's shiny. It is, of course, as gold as you're going to get. And yeah, I do like the look of the Modern Warfare engine camos and stuff as well. But yeah, let me know what you think down below, guys. As I said, if this video has been helpful to you, drop a like. It'd be much appreciated. Subscribe down below as well. There's going to be so many videos coming on the channel. It's actually going to be disgusting. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And if you want to be notified when it does go live, ring that notification bell as well. Battlefield comes out next week too. So many videos on Battlefield and COD as well. So yeah, you'll be spoiled for choice. So I hope you have enjoyed. Have a good night. Enjoy Vanguard. We'll see you in the next one.